Lost desire after 45? What if your libido didn't die? What if your body simply became too exhausted to want? Because after 45, desire can disappear in a way that feels almost cruel. One day, you still remember what passion felt like. The next, your body feels quiet, disconnected, heavy, unresponsive. You may still love your partner. You may still want closeness. You may still miss being touched, wanted, and alive in your own body. But when the moment comes, nothing happens. And that silence can feel devastating. You start wondering, is something wrong with me? Am I getting old? Is my relationship dying? Will I ever feel desire again? But here is the part most people never hear. Low libido after 45 is not always a sex problem. Sometimes it is an energy problem. Sometimes it is a recovery problem. Sometimes it is a confidence problem. Sometimes it is a metabolic problem. And sometimes your body is not rejecting intimacy, it is protecting itself from exhaustion. That is why asking, which peptide boosts libido, may be the wrong question. The better question is, what is draining the system that desire depends on? Because libido is not one switch. It is not just hormones. It is not just attraction. It is not just age. It is the way your body feels when energy, sleep, stress, metabolism, confidence, and nervous system safety all come together. This is part 2 of our Libido and Desire After 45 Peptide series. If part 1 was about signal, sleep, and stress, this part is about something many people feel but rarely say out loud: energy, body changes, and confidence. Because sometimes low libido after 45 is not only about desire. Sometimes it is about not feeling strong, rested, or at home in your own body anymore. And today, we are looking at 3 peptides people often discuss in that deeper libido system: CJC 1295, Ipamorelin, Tesamorelin. Not as magic desire injections, not as miracle fixes, not as bedroom shortcuts, but as peptides often discussed around the foundations that desire may depend on after 45: growth hormone signaling, recovery, sleep quality, body composition, visceral fat, metabolic health, and confidence. Because sometimes desire is not gone. Sometimes your body is just too depleted to reach for it. And by the end of this video, you will understand why libido after 45 may not start in the bedroom at all. It may start with the system underneath desire. Welcome to Midlife Peptide Intelligence. If you are over 45 and you want calm, science-first peptide education without hype, fear, shame, or internet drama, subscribe to this channel. Here we talk about peptides, hormones, sleep, recovery, energy, libido, and longevity in a way that respects your intelligence and your health. Now let's begin with the first layer: energy, recovery, repair. And that brings us to CJC 1295. CJC 1295 is often discussed as a growth hormone-releasing hormone analog. In simple terms, it is connected to the body's growth hormone signaling system. Now, when people hear growth hormone, they often think about muscle, youth, anti-aging, or body composition. But for libido after 45, the more important word may be this: recovery. Because desire often fades when recovery collapses. Think about it. When you were younger, maybe you could sleep badly, work hard, handle stress, skip meals, carry emotional pressure, and still feel some desire at the end of the day. But after 45, the body often becomes less forgiving. Sleep debt hits harder. Stress stays longer. Muscle feels harder to maintain. Body composition changes more easily. Recovery from workouts, work, caregiving, and emotional pressure takes more time. And when recovery is poor, libido is often one of the first things to disappear. Not because you're broken, but because the body is wise. A body that feels under-recovered does not prioritize passion. It prioritizes survival. This is where CJC 1295 becomes part of the conversation. Not because it directly creates desire, but because it is often discussed around growth hormone signaling, recovery, body composition, sleep quality, and repair processes, all of which may influence how alive, strong, confident, and hormonally supported someone feels after 45. Here is the simple version. CJC 195 is not a libido switch. It is more like a conversation about the repair system underneath libido, and that matters. Because many people are trying to force desire back into a body that has not felt restored in years. They ask, why don't I want intimacy anymore? But maybe the deeper question is, when was the last time my body truly felt recovered? When was the last time you woke up rested? When was the last time your muscles felt strong? When was the last time your energy lasted through the day? When was the last time you felt comfortable in your body? Because desire needs a body that feels available. And if the body feels depleted, it may shut down desire long before you consciously understand why. But this is also where we need to be careful. CJC 1295 is not something to treat casually. Anything that affects hormone signaling should be discussed with a qualified medical professional, especially if you have cancer history, blood sugar problems, pituitary issues, cardiovascular risk, sleep apnea, or are taking medications. This is not about copying what someone online is doing. This is about asking better questions. And the better question with CJC 195 is not, will this increase libido? The better question is poor recovery one of the reasons my libido system is shutting down? Because if recovery is the missing layer, chasing desire directly may not work. But what if recovery is only part of the story? What if the deeper problem is that your body feels tired, soft, inflamed or disconnected, and your confidence has quietly disappeared? That brings us to Ipamorelin. Ipamorelin is often discussed as a growth hormone secretagogue. In simple terms, it is connected to stimulating the body's own growth hormone release. Online, it is often talked about in relation to recovery, body composition, sleep, muscle maintenance, and repair. But for libido after 45, we need to talk about something people often hide, confidence. Because libido is not only chemistry, it is also the way you feel inside your own body. After 45, many people start to feel like their body has changed without permission. The belly changes, the waist changes, muscle feels harder to keep, sleep becomes lighter, energy drops, the mirror starts to feel unfamiliar. And even when your partner still loves you, even when they still find you attractive, you may not feel attractive to yourself. That matters, because desire often needs self-trust. It needs comfort. It needs body confidence. It needs enough energy to feel open instead of guarded. And when someone feels heavy, tired, inflamed, weak, or disconnected from their body, intimacy can begin to feel vulnerable in a painful way. Not because love is gone, but because confidence is quiet. This is why Ipamorelin often comes up in midlife peptide conversations. Again, not because it is a direct desire peptide, but because it is often discussed around the physical foundations that can influence desire indirectly. Recovery, sleep, muscle tone, body composition, energy, a sense of physical vitality. Here is the important distinction. Ipamorelin does not fix intimacy. It does not repair a relationship. It does not erase stress. It does not replace sleep hygiene, resistance training, nutrition, emotional connection, or medical care. But it belongs in this conversation because libido after 45 is often affected by the whole body. And when the whole body feels depleted, desire can feel unreachable. Here is the simple version. CJC 1295 is often discussed around the bigger growth hormone signaling picture. Ipamorelin is often discussed around stimulating growth hormone release with a focus on recovery and body composition. Together, people sometimes talk about them as part of a recovery and vitality conversation. But again, this is not a DIY protocol. This is medical context territory, because if you have untreated sleep apnea, poor blood sugar control, uncontrolled blood pressure, cancer history, active illness, or hormone-sensitive conditions, you need real medical guidance before considering anything that affects growth hormone pathways. And this is where many people get misled. They hear peptide and think, this will give me my old body back. But that is not the intelligent way to think. The better question is, what is my body asking for? Is it asking for better sleep, more protein, resistance training, less alcohol, hormone testing, stress reduction, medical evaluation, more emotional safety in the relationship? A peptide cannot replace the foundation. It may only matter if the foundation is being addressed. Because if your body is still running on 4 hours of sleep, high stress, low movement, poor nutrition, and emotional exhaustion, no peptide can carry the entire system. Now listen carefully, because this is the part the internet skips. Sometimes people do not lose libido because they stopped wanting pleasure. They lose libido because pleasure requires energy they no longer have. And that brings us to the third peptide, tesamorelin. Tesamorelin is often discussed in relation to growth hormone-releasing hormone activity, and it is especially known in medical contexts for its connection to visceral fat reduction in a specific population under medical use. But in the broader midlife conversation, people often talk about it because visceral fat, metabolic health, and body composition can deeply affect confidence, hormones, inflammation, and how someone feels in their own body. And this is where libido gets very real, because after 45, body changes can feel emotionally brutal. You can eat the same and gain weight, exercise the same and see less change. Sleep worse and crave more. Feel heavier around the middle. Feel less confident naked. Feel like your body no longer listens. And then intimacy changes. Not always because attraction is gone, but because vulnerability feels harder when your body feels unfamiliar. For men, changes in visceral fat and metabolic health can be connected with testosterone, energy, cardiovascular health, and sexual function. For women, perimenopause and menopause can bring shifts in body fat distribution, insulin sensitivity, sleep, vaginal comfort, mood, and confidence. For everyone, visceral fat is not just cosmetic. It is metabolic. It can be connected with inflammation, insulin resistance, cardiovascular risk, and hormonal environment. So when people talk about tesamorelin, the libido connection is not, this makes you want sex. The more intelligent connection is, could metabolic health and visceral fat be affecting the body system that desire depends on? That is a very different conversation. And it is a better one. Because if low libido after 45 is partly connected to poor metabolic health, then the solution is not just chasing arousal. It may involve body composition, blood sugar, sleep, movement, medical evaluation, hormones, stress, inflammation, confidence. This is why tesamorelin belongs in a deeper libido conversation, but it must be handled carefully. It is not a casual wellness trend. It is not a cosmetic shortcut. It is not a magic belly fat peptide for everyone. It requires medical context, proper screening, and clear understanding of risks, benefits, and whether it is appropriate for the individual. Now let's connect the three. CJC1295 is often discussed around growth hormone signaling and recovery. Ipamorelin is often discussed around growth hormone release, sleep, repair, and body composition support. Tesamorelin is often discussed around visceral fat, metabolic health, and body composition in a more targeted way. But none of them should be viewed as libido peptides in the simple clickbait sense. They are not bedroom switches. They are not passion buttons. They are not a replacement for medical care, hormones, sleep, emotional connection, therapy, nutrition, or relationship repair. They are part of a bigger question. What does desire need in order to come back? And sometimes desire needs a better hormone environment. Sometimes it needs deeper sleep. Sometimes it needs better recovery. Sometimes it needs lower stress. Sometimes it needs metabolic repair. Sometimes it needs confidence. Sometimes it needs safety. Sometimes it needs a partner who listens instead of pressures. And sometimes it needs you to stop hating your body long enough to understand what it has been trying to survive. That is why low libido after 45 can feel so painful. Because it is not just about sex. It is about identity. It is about feeling wanted, feeling alive, feeling close, feeling like your body still belongs to you. And when that disappears, people grieve silently. They smile during the day. They function. They work. They care for everyone. They manage life. But privately they wonder, where did I go? That is why this conversation needs compassion. Not shame. Not hype. Not miracle claims. Compassion and clarity. So before you ever ask, which peptide is best for libido, ask these questions first. Am I sleeping deeply enough to feel desire? Am I recovering from stress? Is my body inflamed, exhausted, or metabolically struggling? Do I feel safe in my relationship? Do I feel confident in my body? Have I checked hormones, blood sugar, thyroid, cardiovascular health, medication side effects, and sleep apnea? Am I expecting one molecule to fix a system that has been under pressure for years? Because when you ask better questions, you make safer decisions. And safer decisions matter after 45. If this video is helping you see libido with less shame and more understanding, subscribe to Midlife Peptide Intelligence. Not because your body is broken, but because you deserve calm, careful, science-first education that does not scare you, shame you, or sell you fantasy. And if you know someone over 45 who is silently blaming themselves for low desire, share this channel with them. Sometimes one honest explanation can help someone stop feeling alone in their own body. Now let's bring this home. The internet often makes libido sound simple. Take this. Inject that. Boost this hormone. Fix your desire. But midlife is not simple. Your body is not simple. Your desire is not simple. And that is not bad news. It means there are more places to look. If desire faded, maybe it is not dead. Maybe the signal underneath it is tired. Maybe recovery collapsed. Maybe confidence was bruised. Maybe metabolic health changed. Maybe stress made your body guarded. Maybe sleep stole the foundation. Maybe your body has been asking for help in the only language it knows, by shutting down what it no longer has energy to support. CJC 1295, Ipamorelin and Tesamorelin are three peptides often discussed around deeper foundations like growth hormone signaling, recovery, body composition, and metabolic health. But the real lesson is bigger than the peptides. This is why this video belongs inside our full Libido ANAMP. Desire, after 45, Peptides Explained playlist. Because one video cannot explain the whole desire system. In this series, we look at low libido after 45 from different angles: signal, sleep, stress, hormones, recovery, body changes, confidence, and emotional connection. So after this video, make sure you continue with the full playlist, because understanding desire after 45 is not about chasing one peptide. It is about understanding the whole system underneath desire. The lesson is this: desire often returns through the body system, not by forcing the bedroom. You rebuild the body. You repair sleep. You reduce stress. You understand hormones. You support metabolism. You rebuild confidence. You create emotional safety. And then, sometimes the body begins to feel available again. Not forced. Not pressured. Not ashamed. Available. And that is a very different kind of healing. If this message gave you even a little hope, stay with this channel. Watch the next playlist for men or women over 45, and continue learning how peptides, hormones, recovery, energy, and longevity may connect in midlife. Because you are not too old. You are not broken. You are not done. Your body may simply be asking you to stop chasing quick fixes and start rebuilding the system underneath desire. This video is educational only and is not medical advice. Always speak with a qualified healthcare professional before starting, stopping, or changing any treatment, especially if you have medical conditions, take medications, or have concerns about hormones, cancer history, heart health, blood sugar, sleep apnea, or sexual function. Be curious. Be careful. Be compassionate with yourself. And never let internet hype make decisions your future body has to live with.